Hi, I'm Captain Larry Bell with Texas Fishing Tips, and this is your weekly fishing report.
Bay down here in Bray Cove. Again, down here in this little cove area down here in front of these back lakes. Work all these mouths in here. This water levels up and down. If you got the water level up, you can slide back into the back lake. When the water level drops out, stay out on the front side, fish the guts, fish the edges of the grass line, throw in your down south lures. The magic grass, it's my go-to bait, so it works really well. If you like mirror lure, the provoker and the little john have been working really well here. Double D has been working pretty well, but not quite as good as what the plastics have been doing. Just continue to work around this edge. Find that deeper edge of grass where it transitions from the sand to the grass, and that's where you'll find some pretty decent fish hanging in that area. All along Belden here. This area right along here, Mud Lake, and this area back in here. Watch out for the black drum lines that are hanging through here. They've been running a bunch of black drum through this area here, but there are some nice redfish that are hanging off that reef. Look for your bait fish. Again, bait fish is the key thing here. Look for those bait fish working up and down that reef. Get off there in about waist deep water, throwing your plastics. Again, down south lures, your little johns, provokers have been working pretty well through this area here. Topwater bait up on top of the reef has not been too bad. It has produced a few fish, maybe right there on that edge of that. And then, of course, this back shoreline, all back in here. There's some redfish that are running up and down this area here. If you got bait working in this area, you're going to have a pretty good opportunity to find you some redfish. And there'll be some black drum that are mixed in there as well. Those little johns work really well for those black drum. Right here in Ayers Bay along the shoreline, work this little back lake mouth that comes right here. And there's a bunch of hill and dale up and down through this area here on this corner. Work the deeper edge of it. There's a nice little salsa reef that's right there off the edge of all that area. If you can get out there to it with the water levels that are fluctuating so much, that are going up and down, if you can catch it when it's on a little bit lower tide, you can weight it from the shoreline all the way out to that little salsa reef and work that with your double Ds. Double Ds have worked really good on this particular shoreline. The redfish are dumping out of that back lake whenever that tide starts to run out, so you can throw that hard bait in there and run that bait down. When you pull it, it'll drop down to you for you about 10, 16 inches, something to that nature there. If this not working for you, switch over to your down south lures. Your magic grass and salt sassy have worked real well through here. The burner shad have worked pretty well through here. A little bit smaller bait since we got this big moon that's been pushing on us. A little bit smaller profile bait, and you'll have much better success in trying to throw the bigger baits. Back here in St. Charles Bay, get back here in Cowchip Lake, this area back here. Wind your way through that little lake entrance right there and get back in here with the water levels that's been up. There's been some pretty decent little redfish that are hanging there. They're in that lower class, 21, 22s, 23s. All this area back in here, topwater. Throw your topwater back in here. Enjoy fishing those topwaters back there. You'll have some game redfish that'll come back in there and they'll get after that. And once you kind of play that out, get out here and work this outside shoreline, just outside the mouth, all down this edge here. There's nice grassland drop edge right there. You'll see it. There's a bunch of duck blinds there. Get back behind those duck blinds with that water levels up. Throw your plastics off of this. Throw your little johns here. Throw your provokers in here. Those been working pretty well. The suspended baits has started to kind of produce a little bit. They're not producing all the time, but if you need a change of pace, throw that little smaller mirror lure suspended bait down in here in a bone or silver. Have worked really well through here, and just work that bait off that deep edge. Turtle pen area, all back in here. Work this edge along this. There's a little deep drop, a little back lake that's right in this area here. Topwater bait has worked good over that shale area. There's a few redfish that are hanging in here. There's a bunch of small trout that are hanging in this area here, so you'll probably a plug or a hard bait that suspends, like the double D or a mirror lure that'll suspend for you, has worked better here because you can catch those fish and not worry have to replace that bait all the time if you're throwing a plastic. If you're going to throw a plastic in here, get ready to take a bunch of extra baits with you because it's going to happen. They're just going to clip the tails or destroy them, and you have to keep replacing them. But keep working that edge. There's some decent trout that are hanging in here. And get back in here where it's a little bit more mud at the very back of Turtle Pen, all the way around here, all the way up to the mouth of Copano Creek. There's been some good trout hanging back in this area here. Again, throwing your down south lures. Your darker colors have worked the best in here. The provokers have been doing well. Again, Little Johns have not worked so well, but you can still get some activity on those. And of course, the topwater bait early on, you can get some action right along that edge of that grass.
Thanks for watching. I'm Captain Larry Bell.